Nurses are generally under a large amount of pressure at the moment, and that's to do with unfortunately staffing shortages and budgetary issues. So what we sometimes see is that we can't often give the care that we would like to give to patients. We often find that due to pressures of beds and management and shortages in terms of staff, that nurses are expected to do quite a large workload, which results in them unfortunately suffering a large amount of stress and anxiety in relation to the care that they're giving. I suppose anybody going into nursing is going in with the intention of giving the best care possible to patients, and unfortunately if this doesn't work out, or if you find that you just can't do it all and that the workload is in excess of what you're able to do, that you sometimes feel a sense of loss when you leave work. I often found coming home from a shift that you constantly thinking about what work you did and how you could have done more, or maybe you should have done more, and you'd even find yourself ringing into work just to check things, double check things. So I suppose there's a lot of anxiety about, am I doing the best I can do, and under often very extreme pressures. A day in the life of nursing, I suppose you've a huge amount of responsibilities. It's not just about being a nurse. You have to be an advocate for your patient. You have to be all things to everyone really on some days. So your medication rounds, you have you have your care rounds, you have to work with a team. It's not just you have to work with a huge amount of healthcare professionals in giving the patient the most holistic care possible. So you're really at the pinnacle of the communication for the patient. So you speak with your doctors, your physios, your occupational therapists, your community nurses, your district nurses, and you are the person that decides, do I need to refer to this person? Am I sure that the patient has been assessed properly? Are they going to get all the care that they need? So I suppose that's one of the biggest pressures of being a nurse, is that you really have to ensure that things aren't missed for patients, because you are there all day with them. Other healthcare professionals rely on you for an assessment, for information, and to really, I suppose, give the patient the best care possible. The HSE at the minute is under huge pressure, and I think it has really negatively impacted the career as a whole. I think people aren't as inclined to become a nurse anymore. They've kind of lost their sense of, I suppose, pride about the profession. It's just not the same as it was. You sometimes find that you're kind of, I suppose, working against the grain an awful lot, and this causes a huge amount of pressure, personally, really, on nurses.